Hey everyone, it's Tom Bickett with Andy Mac Home Mortgage, and I have my co-host here today, Pat Staffa. We're both sales managers here in our Washington Township branch. What's going on, Pat?
How's everything, Tom? Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. With this live stream, our goal today is to do a real quick overview of our Cash to Keys initiative and really dig into the inner workings of our buy now, sell later strategy. That's the platform that's gaining the most traction in our local market here, and we're helping people unlock the market. Pat, give us a quick overview of what is Cash to Keys.
Cash to Keys is a platform that we created to help folks transact in this market. There's no secret we're in one of the toughest real estate markets, probably of our generation. So folks are having a hard time getting their offers accepted, especially with contingencies. So we dubbed it the contingency killer. We remove home sale and mortgage contingencies, and we help them get into their new homes.
That's absolutely true. And we're doing it by making them cash buyers. So by removing the home sale contingency and the finance and the home sale contingency, we're able to make a cash offer. And there's two programs available under Cash to Keys. One is buy now, sell later, and the other one is cash offer. Quickly, we're not going to get into cash offer today, but that is for that first time home buyer, or maybe somebody that's not home sale contingent, or maybe they want to buy a second home. They can use cash offer to remove that mortgage contingency, and that offer goes out as cash, backed by Andy Mac Private Equity's Cash to Keys platform. But the purpose of today is to really go through the process flow of buy now, sell later, because there are a lot of moving pieces. And when you're sitting in front of a customer that's thinking about maybe selling their home, maybe they're a first-time home seller, maybe they don't know what to do because they know the market's difficult, so they're doing nothing. Maybe they have a super low rate on their mortgage, all of the above. So we want to go through the process flow today. So we've got some slides we're going to share with you. We're pretty excited about what this process flow is going to do for you in your business and ultimately help your clients. So getting started here, this is the listing strategy that we developed. Pat, tell them a little bit about the approval process for buy now, sell later.
So the approval process is super simple. We've even implemented AI to help get folks to market that much quicker. So basically what we do is we gather all their income and asset documents. We take a look at their credit and we submit them into underwriting. That underwriting approval can come out same day in a lot of cases. Also with that, we have to determine how much equity they have in their current home. And the way we do that is via an AVM that we order in-house and have our staff appraisers review. Once it's reviewed and we establish how much equity they have, we issue that approval. That cash offer letter goes out to the customers and to the agents. And now you can hit the market running with cash offers using our money to purchase that new home for you.
100%, Pat. So when you're sitting down at the kitchen table reviewing options for that person to sell their home, the question that a lot of agents are asking that seller is, do you have a place to go if your house were to sell? Temporary housing, move in with family, do a rent back. All of those things require double moves or doing something that may not be financially advantageous to you. So once you identify that they are home sale contingent, and as Pat said, it is essentially a two-step approval process. We ask ourselves two questions. Would we give this person a mortgage once their house sells? So that's where the AI credit income and asset review happens at the underwriter. So we're doing a full approval with the assumption that the house is sold. And then we're also doing that AVM to determine the future potential selling value of that home. Now we know how much equity they have once they sell. So we're armed with the fact that we know how much they're going to get when they sell, and we would love to give them a great mortgage. So now they're approved. And what happens next in that process? And there's a welcome call that goes out. Pat, what goes on during that process with the welcome call?
So the welcome call basically is done by someone on our end called an HPC, Home Purchase Coordinator. Basically, they're the referee of the transaction on our end. That's going to help answer questions for the customer and the agents and help the agents get the contract created and put together. So on that welcome call, we just go over an overview of the program, the process, and what to expect moving forward.
That's perfect. And they're available to the customer and they're available to the realtor. And the great part about the home purchase coordinator team is that they're available on weekends. We know that once you have that cash approval, a lot of showings take place on the weekend, and you got to get that offer in really quick. So we want you as the realtor to be able to review what that offer is going to look like with that home purchase coordinator. And we don't want you to have to wait till Monday morning. So our home purchase coordinators are available throughout the weekend. You'll get that detailed information once you have an approved cash buyer in the system. They'll give you all of the tools to reach them 7 days a week, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And the cool part is now you're making offers. So you get a cash approval letter backed by Amy Mac Private Equity, Cash to Keys, and you're going to market with Buy Now, Sell Later, presenting offers on behalf of your client through our private equity firm. So you're out making offers. Great news. You now are under contract to be able to purchase a home cash, which is pretty amazing. So then you're going to be able to secure that home. And once you secure the home, there's essentially two paths to home ownership. Pat, go through what those two paths are towards home ownership.
So the two paths are Annie Mac, Cash to Keys Private Equity could purchase the home for the client, or we could settle on the same day, just like a normal contingency would occur in the past. So option one is we literally purchase the home for the client and we allow them to move into that home. Once they move in, you as the agent have 14 days to list their property and have 6 months to actually sell it. Once that home is sold, the client would be able to purchase the home back from us under the same agreed upon terms with the initial seller. So it would be the same contract, same terms, same price. Now they're using the equity from the sale of their property, which they did not have when they submitted the offer, and they're able to finalize that transaction.
Incredible.
Now the second part is we just close them at the same time. Let's say the home is on the market already. Or we go under contract on their new home, you list it. Obviously, everything sells at a rapid pace in this market, and we're able to marry the two sales on the same day. At that point, there's an assignment of contract that's going to kick the contract back from that seller to the buyer instead of us being the buyer, and we'll settle on the same day using the mortgage.
That's really powerful. So we go to market, you as an agent and your client get to play with private equity, Cash to Keys, cash. So you can really do some pretty incredible things. And why do we do this, right? We don't want the seller to worry about the buyer's contingencies. All they want to do is get top dollar and move on, right? With as little friction as possible. So when you have a cash backed buyer on the table, that really frees that seller up to have a lot more confidence that this deal is going to go to close. And you as the agent working with your client really get to decide, do you want to hurry up and get their house sold on the market and sold and marry up those two transactions to make it a traditional same day event? Or do you want to allow them to move into the home and be able to get their home properly staged, get their home listed on the market for absolute top dollar? So this tool not only allows you to make cash offers, but also allows you to negotiate the absolute best terms on both sides of the transaction. Everybody knows when you go to market with cash, you're going to get a better deal on that home than someone that's coming in with some type of contingency. Or if you're selling and you're able to sell that home without worrying about which offer is going to get you out of that contingency, you're able to get it sold for absolute top dollar. So as the agent, it's a tool that not only allows you to transact, but it gives you more control over that transaction. I think that's what sellers want. They want an agent that's in control to help them understand how to navigate this very difficult market. So we buy the house, they move into it. They technically become our tenant in that environment, and they're going to pay a prorated rent schedule, and they have up to 6 months to sell their existing house after Cash to Keys purchases that home. So if they're living in the home, they're never going to pay a out-of-pocket monthly rent payment. However, it's going to accrue, and it simply becomes settled when they sell their house and comes out of the net proceeds of their home. And again, in the event that you can make it all happen on the same day, there's no rent, right? If you look at this chart here, there's 4 different places as a listing agent where you can decide to list your home. We're not going to dictate to you when that needs to happen, as long as it happens 14 days after Cash to Keys purchases the home. But you can take the listing right up front. You get their house on the market, you can get it under contract based on suitable housing, and you can go to market and present cash offers. You can get yourself start making offers and realize that you're going to get an offer accepted. On average at Annie Mac with Cash to Keys, we're getting a contract, 1.4 offers made per contract. So less than 2 offers made for our clients, and they're typically seeing themselves into a contract. So once they make that offer, they're able to get their house listed. Maybe once you secure the home and you're under contract to buy cash, you get the house listed. Or you just simply want to wait until everything settles and you're in the home for you to want to list that house to make sure everything happens. We give you that flexibility to get on the market that works best for your situation. So that's Cash to Keys in a nutshell. Process flow from approval to home ownership. You get approved, you work the home purchase coordinator, you make cash offers, you get in a contract, and there's 2 paths to home ownership. Either way works fine with us, right? Our goal is to give you a great mortgage experience all the way through start to finish. But a couple of use cases, Pat and I both have used this program now for about 2 years. I want to give an example of somebody that really benefited from not listing their home until after Cash to Keys bought. Both were widows. Both had been living in a home for 30 years, with their family, and their spouses had passed last year, and they needed to unwind everything. They were downsizing from 4-bedroom homes to 2-bedroom condos. Imagine packing and unpacking 30 years of stuff all in the same day. They were thrilled that we would go to buy a condo for them cash, allow them to migrate into that home, and they were able to sell their home 30 days later. So they perfectly downsized their home over those 30 days. And because of that, we're able to get top dollar on the sale of their home. Incredible experience. Pat, what's an experience that you had with Buy Now, Sell Later recently that really shows how this program can work?
The most powerful one that I've had is an elderly couple that moved to California from New Jersey for employment. They reached their retirement stage in life and wanted to move back to be with family and the grandchildren and so on and so forth. They did not have the funds to be able to purchase a new home, nor would they qualify because newly retired, not making the qualifying income that we would use typically when someone's working. So they had no way to go about it. So Buy Now, Sell Later was that saving grace to them. We were able to purchase their new home in New Jersey, allow them to move cross country with all their belongings into that new home, and then they sold their home in California. Otherwise, something that stressful, how would you handle it?
Right.
And we were able to get it done. So that's probably the most powerful and unique situation I've had using the program.
Our partner who's on this call, Andy Craig, our branch manager here in Southern New Jersey, he had a case recently where they used Cash to Keys to get under contract. So they're, Cash to Keys is purchasing home cash. They were able to get their house on the market and sold, and they were able to line up both transactions to where that person would sell in the morning and buy in the afternoon. We actually assigned the contract to them, and the day of settlement, the buyers of their contingent sale, something happened with their mortgage and they weren't able to go to closing. That would be a nightmare situation in any other, transaction where Cash to Keys isn't involved. That entire deal falls apart that day. Imagine the end seller having their house packed up and excited to move on, probably buying another home, to get that phone call like, oh, sorry, our buyer backed out today. Cash to Keys took the contract back and went to closing the same day and bought that home, upholding the integrity of the market, of the deal, of what we said we're going to do. Such a powerful platform that solves for, listen, real estate transactions die every day. It's part of the business that we're in. Usually it's user error where somebody missed something, somebody did something, maybe somebody got cold feet. If we didn't buy that property, we lose all sense of integrity in this market. If we say we're going to do something, we absolutely have to go and do it. Cash to Keys, again, 2 years in the making. We launched our first contract September of 2021. Since then, I think the company's closed over 600. Our branch here locally, a little over 100. And we're just having phenomenal success helping our agents and their clients unlock the market. So powerful. So powerful.
And it's exciting to have a solve for a huge issue in our market, not only in Southern New Jersey, but across the country. And this is an issue that's not going to go away anytime soon. So having that cheat code, if you will, is phenomenal. And it's exciting to talk about every day.
Yeah, I mean, we joke here at Annie Mac, but what are other people talking about? in the marketplace. Every day we're getting people that are referred to us that do have home sale contingencies. As listing agents, one of the most underserved part of the arena out there are those first-time home sellers. These are people that bought maybe, somewhere between 2016 and 2022, early stages of COVID, that maybe took an FHA loan, maybe had limited down payment at the time, who are sitting on a mountain of equity and they don't know what to do, right? So, as an agent, or if you're a consumer listening to this and you're somebody that's maybe a first-time home seller, this is the platform that's going to allow you to unlock the market and be able to help make a life transition that's right for your family, right? At the end of the day, that's what's so important to us, is helping people unlock the market and take care of their family financially and be in the right home for them, for the foreseeable future. So we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of success. Pat, any closing remarks that you want to leave people about buy now, sell later and making a new listing strategy?
Basically, it's real. It works. If you have clients that are contingent, and I know every agent has had this in the past 18 to 24 months, that sign is in the ground, you have a contract, but you cannot get them under contract on a new property. So ultimately, everyone's defeated. All the hard work and efforts you put in go unrewarded. The client just decides to stay put and cancel that contract. So it's a domino effect. So
really
anyone facing these challenges needs to have a conversation with us. We have to solve. It is real. It is not a scam like some folks say, right? In the beginning, everyone it thought it was too good to be true. It is real. We are buying homes. There is no catch. And 1 out of 3 offers now, or 2.5 offers gets accepted using the program. So it's huge. It's huge. You're doing yourself and your clients a disservice by not at least having a conversation to learn a little bit more about it.
You're 100% right. The question that we've been throwing around, to agents and customers is, if that dream home hits the market tomorrow, are you in a position to make the winning offer?
Right? What's your game plan?
What's your game plan? If you need to sell to make that happen, or maybe all your money's trapped in that home and you really want to go to market and make a new offer, it's tough. Contingent offers are difficult to get accepted. And if they do get accepted, what we're seeing is that people are overpaying compared to what someone who's coming in with cash, right? So even if you think it's skeptical, you think it's not going to work, you think it's a gimmick, we have enough testimonials now online to share with you that it does work. But putting yourself in a position to win in this market as a realtor, showing your clients how to win, is going to separate you from your competition. And the agents that have adopted this early on are really, using that to the best of their advantage. Pretty powerful. We lost Pat's feed, which means that it's probably time to end this live stream. But no, in all seriousness, for those that you joined in, we can't thank you enough. We're licensed in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Florida. But the great part about this mastermind group is that we have people all over the country that can participate in this program. So if you're in a state where maybe we're not available, AnyMac is nationwide in almost every single state, and we got loan officers standing by to help educate you about this. So if you got somebody also that's out there making offers that are contingent, the cool thing is that AnyMac does a soft pull with their initial application, so we can, determine if somebody qualifies for this program simply by doing a soft pull, so it's not disruptive to what they already have going on if you have them placed with another lender. But again, this strategy is winning at a really big level. So thank you so much for those that tuned in. Hope this was beneficial, learning more about how you can make a cash offer when you're home sale contingent, and look forward to helping you all. See you in the Facebook group. Thanks again, guys and ladies.